Welcome everybody, welcome everybody, welcome everybody, welcome everybody to the Merle on the Move radio show. Sorry about the late delay coming in on the show. Hope everybody's still tuning in. I hope that because the show started a little bit late, that you didn't just tune out. Had a little technical difficulty starting in on the show tonight. But we got it hooked up. Shout out to my man Mike, station manager Mike Murphy for hooking me up, getting me back live on the air because I was trying to work the board, trying to get it figured out. But we got it. Hey, welcome to the show. I'm ready to turn up tonight. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I got a lot of good music. That song I just played is that new Pusha T with Hov. You know what it is? Neck and wrist. Huh? Neck and wrist don't lie, right? I forgot. I didn't bring my chains. I ain't got my chains on today. So, you know. I forgot to put them on rest and try to get to the show. So, got a lot of good stuff in store tonight. You know, the finals, the NCAA finals was last week. The Lakers got eliminated. LeBron did a new episode of The Shop. I'm gonna talk about that. Rick Ross, Gunna was on there. You're talking about pushing P. I don't know. Yeah, I'm talking about that. Talking about Kevin Durant. I think the Nets might. Hey, we'll see. Talk about that. Talking about going to the war crimes. I told y'all last week that Korea's in the mix. Putin got the war crimes. He's moving forward. A lot of people feel like, well, if he's got war crimes, why ain't y'all just going in and taking him over or getting him or whatever? Because it's bigger than that. This is record. They're going on record saying he's doing this. Also, I'm gonna go over the Supreme Court nomination of Ketanji Brown Jackson, Ketanji Brown Jackson. My fault. Being the first black woman being nominated to the Supreme Court. That she has been confirmed, so that's great. Still outnumber us. The conservatives outnumber the liberals 63. So let's see. A lot of stuff going on. I'm talking about a lot of stuff going on in the January 6th thing because you got Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think they're going to start coming at her. Well, some of that stuff going on. Trump's in the news. Anyway, I'm going to go over all that stuff. A lot of big things going on. Doing some TV shows that's coming out that are out. Anyway, it's more on the move. Play some good music. I'll be right back. Let's go. All right, welcome back to the program. Like I said, I am Merle on the move. So some stuff I'm going to go over here real quick, and in sports because sports is getting kind of slow. It's getting kind of slow because there's no NFL going on, and the NBA is starting to round off to the playoffs. So I'm gonna get into that. What's going on with that? So also, I'm gonna go over this Tiger Woods situation because it's kind of dope, right? Because Tiger Woods, I know a lot of people don't watch golf. I ain't say a lot of people, but a lot of people are listening to my show don't watch golf. I don't know. But I like Tiger Woods. And if you do watch golf, it's probably because you're trying to see what's going on with Tiger Woods. It's remarkable that Tiger Woods is playing the Masters after that car accident he had, right? And it's a good chance. I had a bet. You know, I was making a bet. I was making a bet that Tiger Woods North Carolina was supposed to win and Tiger Woods was supposed to win. And who cares because North Carolina didn't win. So I was out of that bet anyway. But it's dope, you know. So I think it continues tomorrow. Say he struggled. He was kind of off and on. First day was good. I think it's kind of off and on. So we'll see what happens with that. Also going on sports is UFC going on. So, you know, y'all stay tuned for that. Also, I want to give my condolences to Dwayne Haskins, NFL quarterback Dwayne Haskins. He was drafted by the used to be the Washington Redskins, but now it's called the Washington Admirals. Something. The Washington football team, what they was called for a little while, but I don't know what their name is, right? Intruders, I don't know what it is. But anyway, he was drafted by them. And recently he was traded, I think, last year to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So he recently was under contract with the Steelers. He has passed away. He was hit in South Florida, exiting out of his car. He was hit and is deceased. So, but anyway, my condolences. He played at Ohio. He was quarterback at Ohio State. I think he broke a lot of records and stuff like that. So, my condolences to the family of his family, and my prayers and healing energy to them. Also in sports, I told you it was UFC fight going on. Floyd Mayweather. I was talking to my dad earlier today, and my dad's a big boxing fan. Like I said, my dad don't really care about basketball or football, but he loves boxing. So I know how to box. Boxed as a kid. I'm good with my hands. You know what I mean? In real talk, I'm good with these hands. These hands is good over here. Yeah. So I know how to box. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I can win every fight. You know what I mean? But hey, you step to me, you better know what you're doing. Anyway, Floyd Mayweather, Money May is supposed to be fighting again. It's called an expedition fight because it's not sanctioned, so it's not like a ranked fight because he's still retired. But so he can fight whoever he want to fight. And but he's fighting some guy. I don't know who the guy is. Well, he's pretty famous around the world or something like that. But then the fight's supposed to be in June or something like that. So we'll see what happens with that. Shout out to Money May. Anything else going on in football, sports? Something else I was gonna say in sports. I can't think of what it is right now. Currently, that Lakers show is still pretty dope. Oh, LeBron. Here's the transition. LeBron, the show, the shop. He had Gunna, Rick Ross, WNBA player. I don't remember the young lady's name right now. And he had Steve Stout. He's a record company owner, something like that. He does a lot of stuff in music. P Diddy, he's famous because P Diddy slapped him. Speaking of slaps and Will Smith and Chris Rock, right? P Diddy slapped this guy. He's real famous. Steve Stout is real famous in the record and music industry. He does a lot of deals, did a lot of commercials and integrated stuff like that. He's really known, right? And if you probably see him, you know who I'm talking about, who Steve Stout is. But Steve Stout was a guest on there. And like I said, I know him because Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, slapped Steve Stout in his office. I don't know if he cracked him in the head with a bottle or something. I know he slapped him, though. Anyway, he was a guest on that shop. And LeBron was talking, drinking his wine, getting a haircut, stuff like that. And they was talking, talking about who was favorite. He said, they asked the question, who do you like to play for? LeBron can play with anybody he would like. He said Steph Curry. First, he said his son. Shout out to that. He wants to play with LeBron. Everybody that follows LeBron know that's his thing right now. Right now, he wants to stay around long enough to his son. Now, his son right now, I think, is a senior in high school coming up. So after this year of Bronny playing ball in high school, I believe, is it the end of this year or next year? I'm not sure. I think he's a senior now. I think he can go. I think he can play next year. I think he can play a year in college next year and go straight to the league. So I think that's the thing. I'm not sure. Y'all don't quote me on that. Y'all can check that out or not. But I believe Bronny. But anyway, so he talked about that. He wants to play with his son, which is dope. And he talked about how his son has his own identity. You know what I mean? He's like I just said, his name is Bronny. We won't call him LeBron James Jr. Or that's LeBron Jr. We say Bronny. You know what I mean? He got his own little thing. It's dope. And he tells the story how he asked his son, what do you want to do? And he was like, I want to be the best player ever. And that's dope. So he supports him. What else did he talk about? I said he talked with him, play with Steph Curry. That was the second person he said. He didn't say Anthony Davis. He didn't say, well, I'm cool. I like my squad I got right now. I got Anthony Davis. I got AD. He didn't say that. He said Steph Curry. Steph Curry, cool. He don't try to play with LeBron. So, I think he's just giving props to Steph. I think a lot of people read into that. They try to say that, LeBron's saying Steph Curry. Man, y'all read more into that, man. He's saying that Steph is the second best player. To him, behind him, he feels Steph is the second best player. He's like, I like to play with Steph. He that dude. So you got to guard him when he get out the car. And I agree because he can shoot, he can hit. Not only will Steph Curry shoot from anywhere, Steph Curry will hit from anywhere. That's hard. You know what I mean? Some guys just jack up shots, right? Just jack up shots. Steph will jack it up and make it almost all the time. If he's shooting up 10 shots, 7 of them going in. 7 of those 10 are going in with Steph Curry, bro. Real talk. He might miss 3 of them 10, but he gets 7 of them. Brown can't even do that. Brown might hit 5 out of 10. About 50%. Maybe 6 sometimes. Anyway. The Lakers is out of contention. I already talked about that. So that's where I'm at. But the NASCAR is coming. What other sports is going on? Baseball is popping. Albert Pujols. Got my Cardinals lid on today because, I am definitely a Cardinals fan. I'm a St. Louis Cardinals fan. I don't like the color red much, but I do bleed red when it comes to the Cardinals. Okay? Because that's my squad. I'm a diehard Cardinals. Shout out to my God rest the day, my grandfather, who instilled in me to be a Cardinals fan. And Cardinals baseball from where I'm from is where it's at. So speaking of that, Albert Pujols, Hall of Famer, definitely will be a Hall of Famer. Albert Pujols. I think I will play first base. Yeah, he's first baseman. And he's going to be a DH designated hitter for the Cardinals. He's coming back to the Cardinals. All his home runs and his fame came from playing with the Cardinals. And he went around, played for the Angels and played for the Dodgers, a couple other teams. But he's coming back. Coming back to the Cardinals, he'll be designated hitter. And there was some news about him saying his wife, he was getting a divorce. She had brain surgery, and he tried to finalize the divorce while she was recovering from brain surgery. Some people didn't like how that looked and sat with him, but come on. That's his business. Because of social media, I don't know. All these players back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, y'all don't know their background. If Magic Johnson, speaking of this movie, this shows The Winning Time, that's on HBO Max. If Magic Johnson, if social media was back when him and Larry Bird was coming out, he would say they were Jordan. They wouldn't have made it. They would have made it through it. They'd have been canceled. Y'all better stop this cancel stuff. What is that? Who came up with it? You can't cancel nobody. We're still here living. These people are still living. Try to cancel R. Kelly. Still, people. I'm telling you, still people are still listening to R. Kelly music. People are still, R. Kelly's still making money. Somebody else is getting it. R. Kelly, only thing you're doing is canceling him from getting the money. Canceling him from making progress. You ain't canceling what he did because he did it. You can't take back in the race. That's what they try to do with history. Check out the pyramids and the Egyptians, right? They try to erase, try to cut your nose, spite your face, where that term came from. That's what they did to the Egyptians. The statues and all that stuff, they try to cut the nose off despite the face. Anyway, I'm playing another song. I come back. I'm going to talk some entertainment, tell you about the new music, new TV shows, and go over that stuff. You know, it's more on the move. I'll be right back. All right, everybody, welcome back to the program. I am Merle on the move, and let's go ahead and get to the last portion of the show is the social and political issues, and plus I'm gonna go over this entertainment right before I jump into that. But it's not a lot of stuff because a lot of stuff not going on. So watch this show. Like I said, it's called Yellowstone. So Kevin Costner. It's a great show, great show, great show. I'm in the third season. If you ever want to check it out. Also, that new Marvel series called I forget what it's called. Hey, what is it called? Can't think of it. Should have wrote it down. But it's a new Marvel series. You can check it out. It's pretty good. Second episode came out. But let's get into Atlanta. If you like to watch the show Atlanta, I told you about it last week. It was Donald Glover show. Wow. It's so, I said it was weird, but it's not. It's dope. Another episode came out. It was about how when white people used to own slaves, and so it's like reparations, but it's not. So you can, if you can do some research, and if white people own any white people, not just businesses, business corporations, owned your family members, you could sue them and get monetary value for what that was in the show. This is in the show. So people, just random people coming to the people say, you owe me money because they researched it. So they ain't got to be a business. It could be just a normal person. And if your family owned people or did some atrocities in slavery, hit. I'm going to get into that when I get into this Putin thing going on with world crimes, right? Because that was an atrocity. Think about it. It was that long. People act like, oh, slavery so long ago. It was terrible. It's still happening. And nothing was fixed. Slavery was so long ago. You should get over it. What? You didn't fix it. We just let it happen. That's why people look at black people like that. It's like, we just let that slide. Like, for real. We didn't have a war. It was a civil war, but the Civil War wasn't about us. It was about money. It was about property. It was about the North and the South. Yeah, we got pulled into it, and then what they told they don't give us, they never gave it to us. So that's why I like this show. This Kevin Costner show. It's called Yellowstone because it's about the natives. It's about how the reservations. And a lot of people don't understand reservations, especially, people like where I'm from, down in southern Illinois and Missouri areas. We don't know a lot about reservations. Up here, South Dakota and stuff like that, they do. They don't know about the Native American reservations. So I understand the plight. So that's why the show is so deep, because it makes me think about us as black people, because we're natives too. It's not a Native American blood and running in black people. Because we was here with indigenous people. Was here first. It was already here. We don't talk about that though. So should I get into this Supreme Court nomination, or should I get into the key thing? Because this is what I say. It's great. It's wonderful. But when are we going to get things fixed? Joe Biden's doing some things. It's great. But you're not doing the things that count, the things of substance. I'm worried. We got an election coming up in 2022, right? The midterms. And the way these governments are set, even Iowa has set itself up to be on the opposite side of free and fair elections. because black people, she's on voting restrictions and all this IDs and all that stuff. We're America. What are you scared of? Like what is the deal? So it's great that we got Ketanji Brown Jackson in as a Supreme Court nominee, black woman. But what about this Clarence Thomas thing? He's a black man. He's on the Supreme Court, and his wife is allegations that she was tampering, trying to tell Trump's secretary, chief of staff or whatever he was, Mark Meadows, to tell Trump we're gonna stop the elections. Stop the elections. Tips giving him all kind of props and pointers and going into the White House. I watched the Sunday Morning Live, and actually I was watching The View. Check this out. I was watching The View, and one of the ladies that used to work for Trump was one of the guest hosts, and she was saying that, yeah, she's seen that Justice Clarence Thomas' wife come and have a conversation with Trump for 5 or 6 occasions. Why is his wife having conversations with the president? What gives her privilege to come to the White House and sit down and have conversations with the president? You the wife of a Supreme Court justice. This ain't Clarence Thomas coming, because he'd be in trouble. He'd be looked at, frowned upon if Clarence Thomas was going in there to talk to Trump. So his wife going in there, and they say that I don't know the lady, but they say she's one of these big time conspiracy people. She's a forever Trumper, and she has a list of people that are never Trumpers that's in government. Yeah, so he can support her, try to root out. She's one of them. And she was talking to Trump, and her husband is a Supreme Court justice, and he was the only one that voted not to hold Trump responsible for January 6th, something like that. Don't quote me, but something like that. He was one of the only people that held out or was like, I'm cool with it. That's the reason why. Neck and wrist don't lie, right? I'm serious here though. What are we doing? And where are all these righteous, patriot Americans? They still mad at Joe Biden. The ones hate you. I'm mad at Joe Biden too, but that don't mean that Trump is a better substance. Get your party in line. Why is Republicans? It seems like the Republican Party is the party that's against women's rights, because y'all trying to Oklahoma just passed this law that's saying that they're totally trying to ban and make abortion a felony. How do I feel? This is my. I do not represent any other organization, but this is my personal feeling. I feel that a women's rights and what they do to reproduce and reproduction organs is their choice. Who am I as a man to tell a woman what they should do? You gotta have that baby. You got pregnant. You better have that baby. Who am I? I'm not. Who am I? I'm not God. I'm not a judge or a jury. And even if you are a judge or part of a jury, that don't make you God. Who are you to cast a shadow and tell another human what they're supposed to do with their life? Because it's another human. You feel it's another human life inside of this person, and you trying to protect that. This person ain't breathed no breath, ain't ate no food, can't survive without the host. This whatever's inside cannot survive without the host. You care more about what's inside than the host. Hypocrite. You's a hypocrite if that's how you feel. If you care more about the unborn life than the life that's carrying the unborn life, you's a hypocrite. You don't care about people. You care about an agenda, and you care about your feelings, how you feel. And you just want to hold it. You want to have an agenda. You want to have a point. You want to stand on something. Somebody you like or somebody you respect says something, and so you want to stand on it with them. Because that don't make no sense to me. You're supposed to protect the life that's here. They're here. Now, I'm not saying that I'm pro-choice. Like, you should be able to make a choice. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with a person being pro-choice? You should be able to make a choice. That's what I'm saying. We humans. What? Why do we have to act like we're not? We have to act like we're better than other people instead of just being humans. And when you think about it, just humble yourself. Get that pride out the way. Be like, you know what? Let's just do what's right. What's right? We want to protect the people that's here. We want to protect the people that's here. People make mistakes. If this person want to have this child, support them all the way. That's why I believe that it should be healthcare. It should be free healthcare. This country has so much money. This country still got a lot of money, man. Come on. I'm going to get to inflation here in a minute before I get out of here. But come on. Who are we? So once again, Republicans, y'all against women on my agenda. Then you don't want to support voting rights or the George Floyd Policing Act. Like y'all against all of that. So how when people are you a liberal or you a Democrat? No, I'm not none of that. But I can't be none of y'all. I can't be conservative. I can't be a Republican because what y'all values? And if that ain't your values, the people that's running your party is point. That's the message. That's the messaging y'all giving. We say no to all that. We don't believe in none of that. We believe in big. I don't know what y'all believe in, man. You know, you should say Democrats is big government, but it seems like y'all the big government. Y'all can regulate. Y'all trying to put regulations on humans. Black people can't vote. Women can't make a decision for what they want to do with their bodies. Transgender and gay people can't have rights. You know, they can't get married or have the protections and insurance and stuff like that. Like y'all against Republicans are against all that. Y'all against the bill that's going on in Florida, the Don't Say Gay bill, or whatever that is going on. I don't know if I'm quoting that right, but there's something going on with the gay bill in Florida. They're trying to cancel that in schools and stuff like that. They made it a law. So that's what they do. They make things law. They don't just say, you know what, we don't want y'all doing that no more. You know, we're trying to take a stance against this. We're trying to, you know, it's not appropriate. Let's not do that. That's not what they're doing. They're like, we make law. You know, if you do it, you're going to jail. So we ain't just talking about we're gonna make you pay for it. That's what they do. And they have the judges and all that stuff in line to take care of it. They're not playing. Democrats talking dance. So I can't rock with y'all. I cannot. Because y'all sing and dance too much. Ain't getting nothing done. And y'all want us to sing and dance with y'all. Republicans, they get stuff done. I just don't support the stuff y'all getting done. I feel like y'all working backwards. You ever heard the term hustling backwards? That's what the Republicans doing. They be hustling backwards. You know what I mean? They're trying to take stuff from people. They're trying to revert back to the old ways because they feel that they had more power back then. They scared of progression because progression in their eyes means inclusion. And they don't want to include because if you include people, it's less for you, right? If you got a big bag of chips and it's just two people, that bag of chips might last long. Y'all can get full on that bag of chips. But if you got a big bag of chips and it's 10 people, you're not going to get that much chips, especially if you paid the most for it. And other people, the other 8 says 2 people went in on it, the other 8 people didn't. You don't feel like they deserve as much as you. So you don't want to share your chips. You want to keep your chips. You got to find your own chips, bro. That's how the Republicans feel. They feel like that this is their chips. You know, if you throw in on it, if they feel, and it's only certain people they want to work with. Everybody can't put their hand in the bag and get some chips. Maybe your hand don't look right. Your hand ain't the right color. Your hand look a little feminine. Your hand, it's a woman hand. You know, we only want manly hands in here. They got to be a certain color, shade. I'm not saying that's right. That's right. That's kind of maybe a bad analogy, but you know what I'm saying. You know, that's how I feel. I feel like that they playing on they got their own sandbox. They don't want, you know, you can come in, but you gotta be a certain way. Like I say about Trump, he's transactional. He's very transactional. That's what Trump is. You rock with him, he'll rock with you. If you don't rock with him, he ain't rocking with you. In politics, it don't work like that. Politics, you got to give and take. So it says right here on CNN, Putin appoints new military commander for the Ukraine war. Russian shifts the plans after the felon taking on the capital was Kyiv. And he took that. How are we sitting here talking about this war still? I talk about that all the time. It's crazy. Is this something they want to keep happening? Is this inflation? Hamburgers up. I went to the store today and they had this mix of meat. The guy, I said it was called Butcher's Choice, I think it was called, right? It was at the deli at one of the grocery stores. And I said, what is that? So what is Butcher's Choice? What kind of meat is that? What kind of hamburgers? He said, it's the scrappings of all the cuts of meat that they grind together. So, you know, they chop up and you get a side of beef. They chop up the sirloins, the ribeyes, and, you know, fillets and all that stuff, the good points of the beef. And when they chop it up in certain sections, it'd be, you know, pieces left over, right? It'd be fat and stuff on it. And what they do, they take that part of the meat, and that's how they make the ground beef, right? They make the ground beef, they take those scraps, put it in the grinder, grind it out, boom, you get your meat. It was kind of cheap. I said, no, I'm good. I said, no, I'm good. I want that, man. I'm like, no, I'm good. Let's give me that 85 to 90%. Yeah, man, that's my ground beef. I'm eating some ground, and I don't even like meat. I'm telling you, I'm about to be. I had a smoothie today. I'm trying to take care of myself. I'm trying to move towards the smoothie I don't know if I'm gonna be a vegan or not, but I'm moving towards that side of life. Sometimes just the thought of eating meat, to me, not judging nobody to eat meat. When it comes to being a vegetarian, they always say it's hard for me to be a vegetarian because I love meat too much. I love steak, boo. And I do like steak. But the older I get, the more I'm starting not to like it. I be eating and I be thinking, like, it's a mind thing, definitely. But I be thinking, like, I'm eating meat. I'm eating flesh. Maybe I should stop doing that. I don't know. So anyway, inflation is high. I was talking about the hamburger. Gas is, they say Biden's for the least some barrels gas will come down. It came down a little bit, but still high. Um, Summer's coming up. It snowed here the other day. Shout out to Iowa. Gotta love Iowa, right? The weather's crazy around here. Trump endorses Dr. Oz. Dr. Oz is running for political office in Pennsylvania. I don't really like Dr. Oz. I didn't like him on TV and then watch the show. I don't know the man. I heard him on the Breakfast Club a couple of times. Not really like him. I want to boycott Charlamagne on Breakfast Club. I'm tired. I still listen to the show, of course. Still kind of find me another podcast. But come on, man. Charlamagne, dude, please stop with the yawning and coming in late. And you don't know what's going on, dude. Come on, bro. Like, sometimes I'm not all the way off on you, man, but come on. I know I'm tired of talking about dude. But you killing the show. Charlamagne is killing the Breakfast Club, and ain't nobody calling this man out. Call him out, man. I know he do a lot of good for y'all. Y'all like him with Charlotte and all that. But dude be on some bogus stuff sometimes. His radio etiquette is bogus. And you can call me out if you want, because I'll pinpoint every part that I'm talking about. And if you do radio, you know. You bogus, man. Straight up. Anything else I want to talk about? Check out weather's gonna be bad. It's a bit bad coming up. Tornadoes. Prayers to all the families going through all that stuff too. So, Chuck D and the Don't Stop comes up next. My prayers are still with Ukraine. Like I said, I don't know what's gonna happen in that situation. I think it needs a help. You can't go after Putin, because if you go after Putin, it's gonna be World War III. That's what it is. That's what it is. And stop acting like Ukraine could beat Russia. As the United States didn't lose the Vietnam War. And they totally lost the Vietnam War. And they was bombing them and all that, but they didn't put no nukes. They didn't send no nukes out in Vietnam. And the United States, if they really wanted to win the war, they could have did that. So why y'all think Putin gonna do that? Putin ain't finna use no chemical wars and all that, man. He did what he had to do. He took part of the country. Even though he didn't take the capital, Kyiv, he did take part of Ukraine. So he can bag out and hold what he got. And if you ain't gonna do nothing to the man, that's all I gotta say. Anyway, so thank you. I appreciate everybody listening to the show. Tune in all the time. It's Merle on the Move. I'll see y'all next week. Peace, love, and hair grease.